Hey y'all, Christy here. It is Wednesday, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, my little sister's birthday, so happy birthday, Jen. I love you. Hope you have a great day. And I am hopping on to do my accountability check-in for today. And I started a new book. It's called The Untethered Mind. And I wrote the author's name down so I don't forget. The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. And oh my gosh, great book. I didn't want to put it down. It's about disconnecting from your psyche, that inner voice inside your head. And in the first chapter, it has an activity that you do, that he challenges you to do, and I did it, and real eye-opener. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about my quote for the day because it kind of leads into it, and it's by William Shakespeare, and it is, I wrote it down because it's longer than, how it's normally phrased. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Typically you just hear to thine own self be true, and the rest is left out, just to make it shorter. But after this quote, the author goes on to ask, well, which self are you referring to? Are you referring to the self that shows up when you're scared, or to the self that shows up when you're angry, or when you're happy, or when you're sad? So he was saying that it's not such a simple answer to thine own self be true. And so this book is about confronting your psyche and then letting it go so that you could truly be free and live your best life. But the exercise in the first chapter, it talks about, the voice inside your head, how it talks nonstop. When you're on your walk, like me, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that bird. It's so pretty. Or look at the trees, how the leaves are, turning. Just how it's constantly going off, how you're talking to yourself as you seeing things. But like it was saying, your inner self, your inner voice is only describing the parts that are relevant to you. So you're missing the bigger picture because you're only talking about the things that were relevant to you. So you're missing out on the entire picture. So when you're talking to yourself, you're actually kind of filtering the world outside you only to what is actually relevant to you and to what matters and what criticisms you have or opinions you have, and it's not truly experiencing the world. And it was saying how this voice is often how it's often on nonstop. You're constantly talking to yourself, and you're jumping from various topics throughout the day. Whether you're taking a shower, you're not really just focusing on taking a shower, or when you lay down to go to sleep, you're thinking about something you forgot and trying to remind yourself about it the next day. And, your mind always has an opinion about everything. And so what he said for this first exercise is you manifest your psyche. You put a persona to it, like it's a person sitting next to you, okay? Say you're sitting down to watch, this Netflix series or this Christmas movie that you wanted to watch and you've been wanting to watch, and you finally, made the time for it. And so you manifest your psyche, and it becomes a person that is sitting next to you while you're trying to watch this show that you so desperately want to see. And it says to imagine every time that your mind starts going, to envision this person sitting next to you talking to you while you're trying to watch your show. And so I did. Okay, so I'm sitting there, and then of course, What am I going to make for dinner? I don't have this. I don't have that. You know, just random, out of nowhere. You know, I'm trying to sit there and, you know, watch the series. And of course, my mind goes, and I crack up laughing because I'm envisioning myself sitting here talking to my psyche, which doesn't exist, but I'm supposed to manifest it, and having a conversation and getting so frustrated because I'm trying to watch the show, but it keeps interrupting me because that's how much my mind wanders. And I'm so annoyed. And it's just random things like, okay, what was I going to make for dinner? Oh, don't forget I got to pick Kylie up from school or I got to go to this, buy tickets to the game, the basketball game at 4:30. Then I got to come home and I got to make dinner. Don't forget. Okay, yeah. So then sitting here having this conversation, trying to watch. Then again, something random. Oh, I wonder if they got that part in for your car, because it's annoying that you can't go over 83. Luckily, you don't have to go get your nails done in Houston. And I'm like cracking up laughing because, I never pay attention to how much my mind wanders and how random it really is until I did this exercise. And let me just say, I wanted to throat punch myself. If my psyche was a person, I would have choked it 5 minutes into the series that I was watching, because it was a series. It's I don't remember what it's called. It's something about the singer, and it's all in subtitles, so I have to read it and pay attention. So 5 minutes in, imagining talking to my psyche, I'm already ready to throat punch myself because I've interrupted everything and I'm trying to focus on reading these subtitles, and my crazy psyche's over here spitting out random things. And then I start criticizing stuff. Oh, look, that outfit looks terrible on that person. Why are they wearing it? Or, why do they, these subtitles are ridiculous. I don't even want to read them. I'm reading all day. I mean, I was a legit crazy person, my psyche is Psycho Sally. That's who she is. Psychotic Sally. Because she sounded like a babbling idiot, random stuff, and this goes on in my head. So it looks even more crazy when you actually do the exercise and you envision having to talk to yourself, but they're sitting next to you. And I could not stop laughing, because I just trying to sit down and watch a series with my husband or my dogs. They annoy me if they start making noise and I'm trying to concentrate, especially like this one. You got to read the subtitles. I'm like, oh my gosh, can y'all just be quiet right now? I'm trying to listen, or I'm trying to read. But it was so hilarious. And I didn't realize how random my thoughts are. Well, I did, but, you don't really think about it. And this is what it asks you to do. It asks you to think about the voice inside your head. What is it actually saying? And, and it said most of the time it's most active when, you're anxious, or you're excited, or you're nervous about something, or you're scared, or you're doubting something. It shows up, in rare form, and it's got all kinds of advice, Oh, well, that person didn't like you, they didn't even call you, or, it takes you, and you start listening to it. And then, he says, well, have you ever asked yourself what credibility